Hey everybody, I'm Jenna House, and I'm here to update you on my findings in the interdisciplinary realm of chemistry and graphic design. So, let me start by explaining how when I came to Southern Miss, I was determined to major in polymer science and engineering. I think this is because when I thought of making materials that could be used for something that sounded so innovative, I'm here to tell you that science in general is difficult. Every class I attended, I was meeting people who had taken it once before, maybe more. It just seemed off to me. Fast forward, I've worked full time, I've attended school too, and all of a sudden the government decides to change full time status. So I'm already overwhelmed, so I had to make a change. So now here I am, a senior in interdisciplinary studies, trying to fix the problem that I encountered and really getting to research something that I've become passionate about. Higher education is not set up for the underprivileged or the poor. And I'm not saying that it's impossible. I mean, come on, I'm even persevering, but I know people that have it worse than I do. The complexities of the world begin with these small details, though who we are, what we go through, what we learn, all that reacting with our dreams, our goals, our ambitions, it seldomly allows for our passions to become the careers that we end up with. So, I'm exploring the philosophies and general concepts of chemistry to explain how this reaction does not make for a cohesive society. Graphic design is the intricate process by which the society is seen, experienced, and formulated, or in chemistry like terms, synthesized. Why can't we synthesize happiness? We can. Dopamine can be regulated by any antidepressant that fits your individualized body system. But what about love? Um, Technically, there's chemicals associated with that too. But my point is this: everything can be broken down explicitly into chemicals, and being able to manipulate those and rearrange them makes it out to seem like you can control all matter in the known universe, which we know is not so. But why not? Fiction tells us about people who can wave magic wands and make the unimaginable fathomable. So I think that may be why I was intrigued with polymer science. I could manipulate things and let them do what I needed them to, um, abiding, by the laws of the universe and all. No turning lead into gold over here, of course. Um, and my line of thinking has any credibility at all, it's for this. Graphic design can paint a vivid picture of chemistry, molecules, what they do, go through, look like, etc. All the appropriate details I mentioned earlier that kind of make us us. So the environment, firstly, is critical in molecular chemistry as well as conceptual chemistry. By now, you may be tired of the generalizations and say, Jenna, what does this have to do with anything? Well, in my research, I've looked at how the designed environment can really facilitate and allow us to interpret complexities such as chemistry. Those other details make up our perception, which is the second crucial part of learning and passing on knowledge. And when you think about it, what third element that you possessed as a child and had a really tight grip on gradually loosened and was discouraged? If you guessed imagination, that's right. I had an interview with kindergarten teachers, and it was very clear that not only is creativity stifled, but subjects such as science, they're not even thought of at that age level. It's not because of the teachers, but it's because of the districts who are trying to produce results and keep themselves in good standing. If my methods were implemented properly, I could use art and design principles to teach chemistry, not only on a higher level, but during adolescence when children are able to fathom imaginatively and provide them with an environment where that's encouraged. If this is successful, the number of passions that are pursued is bound to increase. The level of dopamine would absolutely rise. Designing your future is an opportunity that everyone should be granted. Learning from our education system is the foundation and honestly the greatest tool to utilize in merging these two disciplines. The endless creation and regulation cycle is only going to be broken or innovated if our perception of the environment expands. Length, width, and height, for example, they describe a simple box. But what is a simple box to you is like an inescapable void for an ant. If a child is given a limited set of tools, they can only excel so far, regardless of capability or ambition. So, expanding those horizons is how I wanted to utilize chemistry and graphic design. And everything is pretty much circumstantial, based on the environment and our perception of it. So, to innovate this, then we must work backwards. from what's fathomed towards the technology that can make this possible. And of course, there are hurdles and there are hiccups and things that basically prevent us from doing this, but finding those loopholes in the logistics that are preventative, it kind of sounds like absolute sorcery. Fancy magic have more to do with physics than chemistry, but it's the same laws that govern what scientists are able to do. The invisible technology I explored in my research, that's just one of the infinite ways that scientists are able to have information at their fingertips. And because of waves and light forms that we can't see, scientists are able to do loads of things. The chemist tools, spectroscopy, chromatography. I can't even say these, much less begin explaining how they work. I can't imagine establishing these norms, because what's possible then, people expanded their common knowledge and just accepted these methods and testing. And it makes me ask, though, how do you regulate truth and what is right? Because chemists can manipulate the senses of elements in order to perform reactions, but it's next to impossible to eliminate individuality and dictate the framework, the internal coding, or the ethics and morals, if you will, of a person. In my research, I talked about establishing a matrix, which is facilitating growth and then degrading as necessary. This fits into a concise form in a quite complicated manner. I tried to relate these concepts to the food industry, because people have called cooking a type of chemistry on its own. You can have the perfect chemistry within your food, but if your chemistry between your business owners and your management is not there, there's no room for success or growth. I attempted to direct my research towards religion and philosophy also, and I'm sure you can tell that by how much I reference our culture and the norms that dictate how we think and process information. But I settled on this simple fact. The chemistry of our environment, it's taught to us by our perception. Our progress, therefore, is dictated by our imagination. Our decision making, though, is mostly based on self-interest. Like, I'd be lying if I said I was not intrigued by the financial stability associated with being a polymer scientist. Starving artist is an expression for a reason. Being rich and famous appeals to everybody, but that's taken a back seat for me in order to innovate for the better good. Truly innovate. Politics aside, education should be accessible to everybody, and instilling at young ages the importance of this technology is crucial in catalyzing innovation. When I get the opportunity to teach the next generation my viewpoint, I feel as though over time, constructive criticism can do nothing short of improve the results. So, in all honesty, I hope my concepts blow your mind as easily as they blow mine. If they do, I've definitely done my job in making you question the fabricated reality as we know it. So that answers my question. If we can fathom it, can it not be?